What if I told you the world's largest crypto exchange was started by a guy who once washed dishes to survive? And that this exchange would go on to handle over $65 billion in daily trades, challenge global regulators, and make its founder one of the richest people on Earth before he was sentenced to prison? This isn't a movie. It's the true story of Binance, the crypto behemoth that rose from nothing to dominate the digital asset world, then nearly collapsed under the weight of its own success. This is how it all happened. Changpeng Zhao, better known as CZ, was born in Jiangsu, China in 1977. His father was a professor labeled pro-bourgeois during China's Cultural Revolution, forcing the family to eventually emigrate. When CZ was just 12 years old, they relocated to Vancouver, Canada, a place that would shape his life in ways he couldn't yet imagine. As a teenager, CZ wasn't coding apps or trading stocks. He was flipping burgers at McDonald's and working late-night shifts as a dishwasher to support his family. But he had something else, an obsession with computers. He pursued computer science at McGill University in Montreal. After graduation, he landed a scholarship to Japan, where he began building trading systems for the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Those years abroad shaped his worldview. He witnessed firsthand how tech was transforming financial systems and how slow, expensive, and closed-off those systems still were. While most of his peers chased stable careers in finance or tech, CZ was different. He had already seen what it meant to struggle, and that perspective gave him a hunger for creating systems that were more inclusive. The experience of living in two different worlds, the controlled economy of China and the free market environment of Canada, gave him a dual lens on inequality and innovation. He didn't just want to work for the system, he wanted to rebuild it. Later, he joined Bloomberg's Tradebook team in New York, where he worked for 4 years developing futures trading software for Wall Street's elite. But something about it didn't sit right. The financial system he was helping build felt exclusive, unfair, and outdated. Too many middlemen. Too little transparency. He started looking for something different. He wanted to build something that made access to money more equal, something that didn't require your birthplace or background to determine your financial future. These ideas would stay with him, simmering in the background, until he found the perfect technology to bring them to life. In 2013, CZ attended a poker game with two big names in early crypto: Bobby Lee, CEO of BTC China, and Roger Ver, famously known as Bitcoin Jesus. It wasn't just poker, it was persuasion. The conversation turned to Bitcoin, and Roger Ver's passion rubbed off. That night would change CZ's life forever. Shortly after, CZ made a bold move. He sold his apartment in Shanghai, his only real asset, and poured everything into Bitcoin. This wasn't normal behavior back then. Bitcoin was still considered a fringe technology, but CZ saw something others didn't: a future of financial freedom and decentralization. At a time when governments controlled access to capital, CZ envisioned a world where anyone, anywhere, could participate in the economy. By 2014, CZ was deep in the crypto world. He joined OKCoin, then one of the biggest crypto exchanges in Asia. But working at OKCoin exposed deep flaws in how centralized exchanges operated. He clashed with management, grew frustrated with red tape, and finally walked away. Then came the spark. In 2017, CZ raised $15 million in an ICO, initial coin offering, to launch his own exchange, Binance. His pitch? Build an international crypto exchange that was fast, user-friendly, and optimized for traders. No borders, no bureaucracy, just speed, scale, and crypto-first design. And one more thing: BNB, the Binance coin. BNB wasn't just a random token. It gave users discounts on trading fees, access to special services, and eventually evolved into the backbone of Binance's entire ecosystem. Binance launched in July 2017. Within 6 months, it became the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world by volume. It was available in over 180 countries, operated in multiple languages, and had one of the most intuitive user interfaces in the industry. While other exchanges struggled with sluggish UX and regulatory walls, Binance was onboarding users at lightning speed. They offered 24/7 customer support, faster listing of coins, and trading pairs that most competitors couldn't match. But here's where it gets interesting. Most financial institutions have headquarters. Binance didn't. Instead of incorporating in one country, CZ chose a decentralized model, setting up partial operations in Malta, Singapore, and eventually Dubai. This made it hard for regulators to pin them down, but also exposed the company to future scrutiny. It was a risky but strategic bet, and for a time it worked brilliantly. By 2018, Binance was the face of crypto, and CZ, he was a newly minted billionaire. By 2020, Binance was more than just a crypto exchange. It was becoming an ecosystem. To educate new users, they launched Binance Academy, a free resource hub that explained everything from Bitcoin basics to complex DeFi strategies. But the real game changer came with the launch of the BNB Smart Chain. This was Binance's answer to Ethereum, a blockchain where developers could build decentralized apps, launch tokens, and trade with extremely low fees and faster speeds. With Ethereum gas fees skyrocketing, builders started to flock to the Binance Smart Chain. It was fast, it was cheap, and it was centralized enough to be efficient, but decentralized enough to pass as Web3. BNB, Binance's native token, became the fuel of this chain. And as more dApps launched and users flooded in, BNB soared, making Binance one of the few crypto platforms with both a robust exchange and its own scalable blockchain. Binance was no longer just a company, it was infrastructure. Then came November 2022, a month that shook the crypto world. FTX, one of Binance's largest rivals, suddenly collapsed. Billions of customer funds vanished. Its founder Sam Bankman-Fried faced criminal charges, and trust in centralized exchanges plummeted overnight. But with FTX's fall, all eyes turned to Binance. People wondered, was Binance next? After all, they were unregulated in many countries, and many governments were asking the same questions investors were. Where exactly is Binance headquartered? Who audits their reserves? Is CZ really in control of everything? In response, Binance updated its compliance practices, requiring user verification in more jurisdictions, increasing reserve transparency, and even withdrawing operations from certain restricted countries. CZ wanted to send a clear message: we are not FTX. But in doing so, he exposed how fragile even the biggest players in crypto could be when it came to regulatory scrutiny. And more than that, it showed how trust, not just technology, was the real currency in crypto. That scrutiny exploded in 2023 and 2024. The US Department of Justice accused CZ and Binance of facilitating money laundering, failing to register properly as a financial entity, and allowing sanctioned users to trade on the platform. The charges were serious. Eventually, CZ stepped down as CEO of Binance, and in a dramatic courtroom decision, he was sentenced to 4 months in prison and ordered to pay a $50 million personal fine. Binance itself agreed to a $4.3 billion settlement with US authorities, one of the largest in financial history. To some, this was the end of Binance. To others, it was a cleansing moment, a chance for the company to mature and move forward with a more compliant future. For CZ, it was a personal reckoning. The dishwasher-turned-billionaire was now behind bars, if only briefly, but the empire he built would survive. It was proof that even pioneers aren't immune to the very systems they aim to disrupt. In 2025, after serving his sentence, CZ returned not as CEO but as a strategic advisor to Binance. And surprisingly, the company wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Binance continued to innovate. They launched Binance Institutional, a platform tailored for large investors and hedge funds. Introduced Binance Pay in new regions, allowing users to pay with crypto like cash. And also expanded their staking and yield programs across multiple chains. Binance was no longer just for retail traders, it was becoming a serious player in global finance. Institutions that once hesitated to enter crypto were now partnering with Binance. New partnerships were formed with fintech companies, traditional banks, and even governments exploring blockchain use cases. CZ's net worth, even after fines, hovered around $30 billion, placing him back among the richest crypto founders globally. Binance itself remained the #1 exchange by trading volume, despite the regulatory hurdles. Its mobile app had over 150 million downloads, and BNB still ranked among the top 5 cryptocurrencies by market cap. Incredibly, the brand had not only survived, it had grown stronger. The very challenges that could have sunk the company became the catalyst for its evolution. So, where does Binance go from here? Some say it will become the Amazon of crypto, branching into everything from payments to cloud infrastructure. Others believe tighter regulation could force it to splinter into regional subsidiaries. What's clear is this: Binance's story isn't over. It's evolving, shaped by regulation, innovation, and a founder who still casts a long shadow over everything. In an industry known for short-term hype and fast crashes, Binance has lasted, adapted, and some might say outsmarted everyone else. If you found this breakdown of Binance fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got more deep dives coming your way. From billion-dollar fintechs to underground empires, we'll keep exposing the stories behind the money machines that shape our world. See you in the next one.